Beneath your feet, there's an entire civilization working non-stop. Roads, communication, structure, all organized without a single leader telling them what to do. And most people never even notice it. Imagine if every time you stepped onto a lawn, you were walking over a high-tech, bustling city that never sleeps. Ants are among the most successful creatures to ever live on Earth. They are found on almost every piece of land on our planet. They don't live alone. They live in highly organized societies called colonies. A colony is like one giant family where everyone has a specific job. You can think of a colony as a bustling city. There are builders, nurses, explorers, and even a queen, who acts as the heart of it all. Life for an ant begins in total silence. It starts as a tiny, delicate egg, often smaller than a single grain of sugar. These eggs are never left alone. Worker ants act like dedicated babysitters, cleaning the eggs and moving them to keep them at the perfect temperature. Soon, the eggs hatch into larvae. At this stage, they look like little white beans and are completely dependent on the older ants for food. Think of a larva as a growing seedling. It needs constant fertilizer and rich protein food to eventually sprout into a strong adult ant. When the larva is ready, it spins a cocoon or sheds its skin to become a pupa. Inside, the body of the ant is being completely redesigned. It's like a biological 3D printer. The pupa doesn't eat or move, it just focuses on building its new body from the inside out. When the ant first comes out, it is called a callow. It's soft and pale, like a new pair of shoes that hasn't been worn outside yet. Soon, its skin hardens into an exoskeleton. This is its armor. Because ants don't have bones inside, their skeleton is on the outside to protect them. An ant's shell is as strong and light as carbon fiber. It's an incredible piece of engineering that lets them withstand huge amounts of pressure for their size. Now an adult, the ant is ready for its first job. Most ants start as nurses, caring for the babies, before moving on to bigger roles. The queen is the center of it all. She isn't a bossy ruler, she's more like the colony's central computer, providing the life force for everyone. While a worker might live for only a few weeks, a queen can live for decades, storing enough genetic information to birth millions of new citizens. Workers handle everything else. Some are specialized soldiers, while others are foragers who spend their days exploring the great outdoors. Just like us, ants need a balanced diet. They need water to stay hydrated and food to give them energy for their long workdays. They love sweet things. To an ant, sugar is like high-octane fuel. It gives them the battery power they need to carry heavy loads. This sharing isn't just about food, it's also about information. By sharing liquid, they pass chemical news about the health of the colony. Ants actually have two stomachs. One is for themselves, and the other is a social stomach, an internal backpack of food, to share with their sisters. When they share food mouth to mouth, they are also sharing data. It's a chemical internet, passing news about the health and safety of the entire city. If a path is blocked, they don't get frustrated. They calmly and quickly work together to solve the problem, communicating every move. They talk using scents called pheromones. Imagine if you could leave a glowing blue line behind you so your friends could find you anywhere. Pheromones are like sent text messages. They can say, "Follow me to the fruit," or "Watch out, danger ahead," without making a sound. Let's observe their incredible math skills. Without any central brain, a colony can find the shortest path between any 2 points. It's called the ant colony optimization algorithm. They use scent to vote on the best path, constantly refining their choice until they find the absolute fastest way. You might think ants never rest, but they actually take hundreds of short power naps throughout the day. An ant's strength is legendary. Some can carry objects 50 times their own body weight. That would be like you lifting a car. If you were as strong as an ant, you could pick up a whole school bus and walk across the playground with it as if it were a backpack. How do they walk upside down on glass or smooth leaves? Let's observe the extraordinary engineering of their feet. Ants have built-in suction cups and specialized liquid on their feet. They use molecular forces to stick to any surface, defying gravity with every step. Ants use the sun like a compass. They can even see specialized light that we can't, allowing them to know where home is, even on a cloudy day. Some ants actually count their steps. It's like they have an internal pedometer, calculating exactly how many strides it takes to get back home. Ants are true survivors. They have been on Earth for over 140 million years. They even lived alongside the dinosaurs. While the dinosaurs went extinct, ants adapted. They changed their bodies and their habits to survive everything the world threw at them. Now, let's slow down and observe one of the most extraordinary feats in the natural world. This is the living bridge. When an army of ants reaches a gap too wide to jump, they don't turn back. Instead, they become the bridge themselves. The first ant reaches out, and the next ant grabs its legs. They lock together using specialized claws that work exactly like Velcro. One by one, more ants join the chain until they reach the other side. They create a living suspension bridge made entirely of sisters. Once everyone is across, the bridge simply dissolves. It's the ultimate example of collective intelligence, working as a single, powerful mind. Next, let's observe something truly extraordinary and slightly mysterious. This is the story of the zombie ant. In the tropical rainforest, a tiny fungus spore can land on an ant. It's like a microscopic seed that hitches a ride on the ant's back. Once inside, the fungus takes control. It's like a computer virus rewriting the ant's brain, telling it to leave the colony and climb a high leaf. At just the right height, the ant bites down on a leaf with all its might. This is the death grip. The ant is now a puppet for the fungus. Finally, a mushroom stalk sprouts right out of the ant's head. It releases new spores into the wind, continuing this incredible cycle of nature. It sounds like science fiction, but it's a perfect example of how complex and interconnected the life of a single ant can be. Now, let's observe another fascinating fact. A single ant isn't very smart, but a colony works like a giant living brain. The power of the many. When a family member wants to come in, they give a secret knock with their antennae. The living door recognizes the smell and pulls back just enough to let them through. These ants have heads shaped like giant plugs. They spend their entire lives acting as a living door. Imagine using your own head to bolt the front door of your house. For everyone else, the door stays shut. It's a perfect biological gate, protecting the nursery and the queen from intruders, with nothing but a well-shaped head. But perhaps most fascinating of all is their role as the world's first farmers. Meet the ant ranchers. Ants herd tiny insects called aphids, much like humans herd cows. They protect these aphids from predators, like ladybugs. In exchange for protection, the aphids give the ants a sweet liquid called honeydew. To an ant, an aphid is like a living juice box. They even move their aphid herds to better leaves to make sure they are well fed, ensuring a constant supply of sugar for the entire colony. Ants aren't just local, they are global. Incredibly, some species have formed a super colony that stretches across entire continents. An ant from Japan can meet an ant from California, and because they belong to the same super colony, they will treat each other like sisters. Underground, ants are master architects. Some nests are as deep as a 2-story building, with specialized rooms for food, babies, and even garbage. They even build their own air conditioning. By placing holes in just the right spots, they create a natural breeze that keeps the nest fresh and cool. Ants are even doctors. They collect tree resin, which has natural antibiotic properties, to keep the nest clean and free of diseases. Now, let's observe the incredible engineering that happens deep underground. Ants are the master architects of the Earth. They have figured out how to ventilate their cities without electricity. By building complex shafts, they use the wind to pull fresh air into the deepest rooms. Passive cooling at its best. This keeps the temperature steady, protecting the babies from the midday heat and the midnight chill. It's like natural climate control. They even know how to support their tunnels so they don't cave in, choosing the best soil and packing it tightly like professional bricklayers. And they are very organized. They have dedicated refuse rooms for garbage, keeping the rest of the city clean and healthy for the queen. Sanitation is key. It is a level of engineering that rivals our own, built entirely with tiny legs and collective wisdom. Finally, let's observe a survival strategy so strange it seems impossible. Meet the honeypot ants. In the harsh desert, these ants act as living storage jars. They fill their abdomens with nectar until they are too heavy to move. They hang from the ceiling in dark pantries, waiting for months. When the rest of the colony is hungry, they tap these living jars for a drink of nectar. Individual ants are like neurons in your head. Alone, they can't do much, but together, they process information and make complex decisions for the whole group. If 2 scouts find food, the colony votes by following the stronger scent. They solve problems like mathematicians, always finding the best answer together. This is called emergent intelligence. It's the power of the many, proving that when we work together, our tiny efforts can change the entire world. A lesson for us all. There is incredible diversity among them. Meet the leafcutter ants. They use their babies, like living glue sticks, gently squeezing them to release the sticky silk that builds their waterproof homes. Fire ants have a unique survival trick. When it floods, they link their legs together to form a living, floating raft that can stay afloat for weeks. By trapping tiny bubbles of air between their bodies, the whole colony can breathe while they wait for the water to go down. Ants interact with water in amazing ways. Some can walk right on top of it, using the skin of the water like a solid floor. In colder seasons, many ants retreat deep underground, slowing their metabolism to wait for the return of the sun's warmth. For every human on Earth, there are over 1 million ants, each playing a vital role. Even though we rarely notice them, ants are constantly helping shape the world around us. They aerate the soil and help disperse seeds for new plants. By cleaning up organic waste and supporting the food chain, they act as the tiny, tireless caretakers of our environment. The world of ants reminds us that even the smallest life forms play a massive role in the grand tapestry of life. And once you start noticing them, you realize how much is happening in the world around you. There is beauty in the small details. See you soon. There's always more to discover.